Thank you, Matt. A number of high-profile U.S. news websites temporarily unavailable in Europe after new European Union rules on data protection came into effect. Now, joining us this morning to talk about cyber law is cyber law attorney Jay Arcata, a partner at HALLORAN Sage LLP. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Keith.
Talk to me about what sites are impacted here.
Well, it's across the board. So this is GDPR is the regulation. It stands for General Data Protection Regulation. It's a European Union law, but because of the global economy and the way the web works, it's going to impact websites across the globe.
So someone at home who's watching this morning, they're jumping on their computer here in the United States. How does this impact them kind of at all?
Well, as your viewers probably have noticed, they've been receiving a lot of emails from vendors asking them to update their privacy settings. What this law is going to require is an affirmative opt-in if you want your data to be shared and available to be shared by these various companies.
And there are some familiar sites that are impacted here. We're talking about the New York Daily News, Chicago Tribune, LA Times, some of those big papers that folks often read regularly, so it sounds like it runs the gamut.
It does, and what's happening in that situation is a lot of these sites probably aren't GDPR compliant, and so they're restricting access to their European viewers because of that.
So what is a business here in the United States doing? We talked a little bit about the consumer, but for somebody who's running a business, kind of what are they being mindful of at this point?
Well, at this point, we're getting a lot of calls at HALLORAN Sage from businesses here that may do a little bit of business in Europe, and they're concerned about the breadth and the reach of this regulation. So what they really need to do is take a look at their operations and figure out whether they're going to be impacted by this law or not.
And what do they do moving forward? They decide that they are going to be impacted. How are you helping them?
We're helping them just plan, basically putting them in touch with IT vendors, and we're actually hosting a seminar on June 28th at HALLORAN Sage aimed at area businesses who may have questions about compliance.
So we are more globally connected really than ever before. Europe's certainly not as far away as it used to feel, but it is a distance for folks. What are your thoughts on whether or not we may see similar types of regulations either here in Connecticut or on the federal level?
I would say the answer to that question is both Connecticut, state, and federal. This law will serve as a great roadmap. A lot of companies that don't need to be compliant here in the United States are choosing to be compliant for that very reason, because it's going to sweep in here eventually.
All right, something to continue to monitor here. It's nice to have your expertise to walk us through it, and as things change, come on back.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Nice to have you.